Hi ladies, I'm just coming with a follow-up as we have just began our work through the 7 weeks, 7 chakra series. We've started with the root chakra and the videos were jam-packed full of information. So I don't want to go into like information overload because really what's helpful about this series is the experience of it. What's helpful is that as you work through these chakras and they become aligned and balanced, that your experience of being a human being is going to feel different. And I can give you all the information I have and it's still not going to help you if it doesn't shift the experience. But today, after I did my meditation and some other things that I'm working on, I was reminded of something that's so valuable and pertinent to this. And that's the fact that we grow in proportion to how we're supported. And I know I touched on that with the analogy of the tree and the roots, but I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit more. Because I know oftentimes we might feel like, or other people might consider the work that we do on ourselves like selfish, right? Like we're taking the time out of our day or the money that it takes. And, you know, life is pressing. There's things we need to accomplish. So taking time out of the day that could be used to do chores or go to work or, you know, what have you, when you take a chunk of that time and place it on just yourself, I know that that can have like a negative connotation. But I was reminded this morning about how valuable it is to be supported. And it's not only valuable to us, but it's valuable to everybody around us. It increases your value when you are supported. And the analogy of the tree is a really good analogy, and I'll just touch on that again, where, you know, a tree can only grow and expand and stay stable through a storm to the degree that the roots grow in depth and width. And it's because of that support system that these trees can withstand the storm, that the inevitable storms that come throughout the years. And more often than not, trees stay standing. And it's the same for us. And the truth of it is that not only do they stay standing, but the ones that have the most supportive root system are the ones that bear the most fruit, have the most limbs, are able to produce the most. And we are not any different than that. And one of the coolest things about this analogy is, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but I remember learning that, you know, the roots of a tree, they grow down and they grow out. And they grow out and eventually they touch the roots of other plants, other trees. And you know, there might be a tree way over here, 5 or 6 trees over, and this tree has a little something going on and isn't doing well. The tree 5 or 6 trees over, if it has extra, it's going to send it over, and they're communicating through this root system and they're supporting each other. And I love that. It's all underground. It's not visible. What you see is the fruits of these trees and the stability, and you get shade from these trees and, you know, whatever. But the reason why the trees can be what the trees are is because the support. And we are the same. We are the same. Support is so smart. Tending to our roots is so intelligent. It's next level emotional intelligence. And it benefits you and it benefits everyone around you. So I just wanted to kind of add that the quote that came to me was, "You must be supported to be your best." You must be supported to be your best. I was reflecting on that this morning, on the fact, I think about myself growing up, and my childhood was left much to be desired, but I would never change it because it really created a lot of strengths within me. But because I wasn't supported at all as a child, I moved into a section of my life where I was created some kind of trauma response where I became super independent, overly independent. And I wanted to just take care of everything by myself. And I know that a lot of people have this particular trauma response as well. And I'm not bashing it. As a matter of fact, I'm really grateful that I had that experience in this life. It felt empowering for a time. For a time, it served me. For a time, I loved that I was capable of doing the things that I was doing. I was a single mom, and I worked multiple jobs, and I was going to school. And it was empowering, and it served me. But there came a point where it stopped serving me. And what happened is that I didn't tell anybody about the different parts underneath that were crumbling. It looked like I was doing all these amazing things, but I was letting my bills slip away, and I was not taking care of my body the way I wanted to. I wasn't getting enough time with my child, and therefore she suffered from it. And looking back, I've healed so much from that, and I am married to an amazing man who was one of the first people that taught me about support. It kind of chokes me up because I had never known of partnership or support. It felt like weakness to me prior to that. But in my relationship with my husband, and just that support alone, I've been able to grow in so many ways and clear out so much of that was crumbling away because of that over independence. And then I started to pour that also into my yoga practice, where before I just thought it was weakness to need blocks or any kind of support in my yoga practice. But today I use the blocks. I use them not because I need to, because I want to, because I've learned that every pose I can actually go deeper. I learn more about my body with support. And when I do eventually take the blocks away, my structure is so balanced and strong because I use the support to create the structure. So anyways, I just thought this was really neat that it came to me right after our root part of the series. And I just wanted to thank you all for coming along on here. And I want to commend you for taking the first step to taking care of your support system. And not only energetically are you creating support, but you have the support of all of us that are doing this as well. And I'm here for you. I love you so much. I'm rooting for you. No pun intended. No pun totally intended. And I hope this video finds you well. I love you all so much. Mwah.